This video will tell you how to load a bike like this into a trailer like this. First, make sure this is secured. You don't want to pull the bike in and then have this flip up. Don't ever try that, it's bad. So have everything secure here, your lights connected, your chains connected, everything tight. You don't want to drag the bottom across that hump. Make sure the car and trailer are on level ground so you don't get any weird angles back here. Another thing I do is put a little small ramp of some kind underneath here, or just a board, because that minimizes the angle here. You don't want to scrape your belly when you're going over that hump. Have the tire up firm against the front of the trailer and start with the kickstand down. Make sure the bike is pretty well centered between a couple of ribs all the way. You'll need a set of these Canyon dancers. They just make it a hell of a lot easier for mountain bikes. And then I have 5 sets of tie-down straps. I only need 4 to do the bike, but I always have 1 spare that I throw in the car for whatever trip I'm doing. Put the cups of the Canyon dancers on both handlebars. Run the fuzzy part over there. See how nice that is? You won't be scratching anything or hurting anything on the bike. First, I take one of the straps, I run it through the loop and then connect it to itself. Have the ratcheting lever on the outside and just get it just enough to keep that thing hooked while we start pulling on the other side. Remember, you're going to want to pull this kickstand up before you actually finalize all the strap downs. Now I have the right side one in place, and I've got plenty of room here to ratchet that up and suck this in, because it's going to be a little bit longer here on this side right now because the bike was leaning over against the kickstand. So now that strap will keep it held safely from flipping over this way, and I've got this I can start ratcheting down. Now that I've tightened this side, you can see the bike is leaning over a little bit. But what's good is now I can flip my kickstand up, and that's the way you want it for traveling. And now I can start tightening this side and just work back and forth until they're both tight. Both sides are solid, and you can look and you can see that yes, the tire is being pressed hard into this front of the trailer, so you know it's in there good and solid. Rocket, you should feel no play in the suspension at all. I grab onto the swing arm back here, and you'll notice on the bike I'm pulling it forward towards the front of the bike. The reason for that is if you put tension pulling it backward, you might take tension off the front forks and the bike could pop out of place and fall over. So pull forward against the front. Some guys will use passenger pegs, pull down there to put the rear shock under suspension too. I've been doing it like this and haven't had any issue, but that's another approach, is if you have your passenger pegs. I just only have them on one side, the mount. So I'm just pulling off the swing arm here. Now I've got all 4 tight. The bike is solid. Kickstand is up. Now I'm just going to tie up the loose ends so they don't blow and shred on the way. Loops are all tied up nice. Won't be any loose ends blowing. Again, all the straps are pulling forward, keeping pressure against that tire. Front suspension's collapsed, the rear can float, but the tire's rigid. And I have my ramp and my extra strap in the car to take with, just in case something would break or something on the way. Both of us were lucky enough to have survived the trip to Colorado, so now it's time to take it back out of the trailer. I've opened the gate and put the red ramp back down in the middle. Basically go in reverse. Start with taking the back 2 off, the last ones, doesn't matter which side first. The way to loosen them is you pull in on that point middle, and then you just put a little bit of tension on it, and then you pull up on that and carefully let it back in. Repeat. Pull in, out, a little tension, pull in, let it out. Keep doing that until you can loosen it all the way. Get your hooks off. Now for the front, I'm going to loosen this one enough. May have to loosen that one a little bit too. Get it enough to where you can put the kickstand down to stabilize it. By just loosening this side, I was able to get the kickstand down. Now I'll completely remove this side so that everything will be over against that way, and then loosen that one. Remove the Canyon dancers before you try to back it off so nothing gets tangled up as you're trying to steer it off. Then just roll it off. Holding on to the front brake as you go down so it goes slowly and carefully. And now your bike is safely back in the garage where it belongs. You might want to go through and do a post-ride check depending on how hard of a ride it was, change the oil, bleed the brakes, whatever other, just a good check and make sure everything's still solid. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to learn more about how to enjoy amazing machines like this.